Hello, so I'm going to show you how to make spiky hair using Vroid Studio. So I'm picking my new model, and I guess I'm going to do a guy model this time. Usually they have some spiky hair. And we're going to go up to the hair editor tab. And then we're going to go over and click on the add brush guide option. And I'm going to change the hair color just because I can. I think I'm gonna do red, because usually when I think of spiky hair, I think of Axel from Kingdom Hearts, of course. I'm not gonna make Axel's hair, but we're just making it red, just for the theme. So we're gonna go up to this arrow button, and then start editing the brush guide. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start messing with some of the points. First I'm going to take it up high enough so that the spikes will be able to be as long as we want them. And next I'm going to try to condense and flatten the brush guide in order to try to make the spikes flat and take out the roundness. So let's see what all it'll allow me to do. Okay, so it looks like it's only going to let me condense this a certain amount. I can't flatten it all the way as the points won't go, but I managed to make the front fairly flat, so I'm going to try to work with that and see if we can make these spikes happen. So you can see that it'll look okay from the front, but when I go to the side, you'll see that it goes over the round on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the points up so that the base guide is higher than how I want my spikes to be. So that way whenever I take the spikes up, I won't need to take them up over that rounded part on the top. So I can just take them straight up and then stop before that point to still make them straight and spiky. And I'll give you a more step-by-step example in just a minute. I'm going to show you how to straighten them out, just kind of adjust the points if you find it bending a way that you don't want it, and just going to add on a couple more hairs. So you'll see me adding on another brush guide, and I'm going to make the start of this brush guide right where the first spikes end. And my technique in order to make the spikes cover the whole head is to do them in rows. So this is going to be the second row with spikes, and then after this one you're going to want to make a third row, a fourth row, all the way back on the head, and do the same thing on the sides. Pretty much all around you're going to want to be doing spikes in rows, so that way it can cover the head without rounding off at any point, and you won't have any gaps in the middle of the head either. So what I'm doing right now is the same thing I did on the first set of spikes, and I'm making the brush guide purposely taller than how high I want the spikes to be. This is because there's a rounded portion at the top, and I don't want the spikes to go up over that rounded portion and round off. I'm just working with the front of the brush guide right now too, and I'm making it as straight as possible in order to make my spikes look straight. So just worry about making the front of the brush guide straight and as taller than what you want your spikes length to be. So you remember how I was talking about rows earlier? So what I'm doing right now is adding on the second row of spikes, and these layers are going on right behind the first ones, like I said. So I'm just putting them on, and of course this isn't the most flattering hairstyle. This is just an example that you can work off of. This will work for any spiked up hairstyle where you need spikes to go straight up. This is a very extreme example, but you get the point of what I'm trying to achieve. And as I said before, this is only the second row. So then what you would do next after this is add on another brush guide, create a row behind that. Add another brush guide, create another row behind that, and continue doing those two steps over and over again until you get the spikes to look the way you want them to look, and they're covering the entire head. So here's my example on how to make spikes go straight up using Vroid, and I really hope that this helps some of you out.